What is going on, guys? It's your boy Jackson coming at you today with a video conclusion for my Bible project. So let's get into it. So my research question was, can it be demonstrated that the movie The Imitation Game universally represents the idea that anyone can be used by God to serve a greater purpose, regardless of what they have done? So my hypothesis is yes, it can. So basically how I'm doing this is I'm analyzing each character, each of the main characters from the movie, and looking at their successes in the movie and their faults, so where they fall short. And so basically there's a biblical baseline to this. So for instance, you look at Moses, and in Exodus 3 he's got this really big success. He's leading the Israelites out of Egypt and to the promised land. But then you see he falls short where in Exodus 6:12 he says he can't even speak that well, so he's got like a stutter. And then even before that in Exodus 2:12 he's killed somebody, so this guy's a murderer, and God's still using him to lead the Israelites from Egypt. Then you look at King David. He's got this really big success, 1 Samuel 13:14. He's a great king, a man after God's own heart. And then you look later in 2 Samuel 11 and he's committing adultery and murder. So God is still using him despite these, pretty big downfalls. And then, of course, you get Peter in the New Testament with him being the rock for the church, Matthew 16:18, and then goes on to deny Jesus 3 times in Matthew 26. So for the movie, The Imitation Game, we have Alan Turing, and basically his biggest success is he builds the decryption machine, so he's defeating the German Enigma machine, and his biggest fault is homosexuality, and so God is still using him to help win the war despite that. So then you can look at Joanne Clark, and one of her biggest things that she did in the movie was just being a friend to Alan Turing. So he's kind of like off on his own and isolated, but she was a good friend to him. And the thing that contrasts with that is that she basically completely disobeyed her parents to get in and working on the code. So she lied to them about what she was doing and just to be with him. So God is still using her to impact Alan Turing's life despite her lying and being dishonest. So then you can look at John Cairncross, and his biggest fault is that he's a Soviet double agent. So he's working against the whole, in the long run, working against the whole challenge to crack the code. But he still helps to crack the code. So he's working undercover in this code cracking, and he's one of the bigger parts in defeating the Enigma machine. So he's in there helping right along with Alan Turing in cracking the code, even though he's relaying all this information back to Russia. So God is still using him to help save millions of lives in the war, despite basically backstabbing all of the allies. And so it comes down to it, the single biggest thing I learned from this was God is using sinners in this world, and he really has no other alternative. He has to use people who sin because everybody sins and falls short. So honestly, this is really good news. Like, we will always have an opportunity to serve God. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching.
Moab ready for your talk. Friendly Moab incoming. Losing A. We've taken the lead.